All right, welcome to the second Ponyville Cyberfest 2016 managers meeting. For anybody who's watching, we're basically just going to be going over some departmental updates, just status and seeing where everything's at. Going to be going kind of one department at a time, just to kind of address any questions and needs, just to take care of people. If you're watching and have any questions, if you're watching the live broadcast, feel free to use the Q&A app in Hangouts to ask us questions, and we'll try and participate and respond there. Otherwise, yeah. So who needs to leave early? Anybody? Sarah, did you say you have to leave early? Yeah. Okay. So let's start. Let's start with tabletop. Where are you at, Sarah, with getting anything planned as far as tabletop goes? Have you done anything? Do you need anything? I know we're pretty early out for your particular department, but yeah.
Yeah. I guess I'm waiting on Corey to answer a couple of questions about prizes potentially from last year that were unused and some of the board games we have that's available. Otherwise, I'm for the most part just kind of planning ahead what to do once I have some games coming in. I haven't heard of anyone hosting anything yet so far formally,
Okay.
but there's some stuff in the works.
While I'm thinking about it right now, I'm going to share the panel applications with you so that you can go in there and see if anybody's submitted any games, because I honestly haven't looked at all, but I'll just give you access.
Cool.
As far as I remember that last year the prize package from the CCG folks showed up after con, so that should still be somewhere. It's just a matter of figuring out where it's at.
Awesome.
But yeah, so any other questions that you have or things that you need help with, anything like that?
Not at the moment.
Okay, cool. Does anybody have any questions for Sarah for tabletop? Taking that as a no. Excellent. Cool. Let's see. Does anybody else need to take off early? All right. Larsis, we'll jump to you because I know we talked the other day about AV. Have you gotten any secondary quotes yet?
I haven't. I've just gotten the emails out to get quotes as of yesterday. I have gotten in contact with 2 other companies. Our primary company's quote is a bit high. I'm thinking of possibly trying to talk them down after I get some more numbers to work with, however.
Okay. What's your gut feeling on? Do you have a gut feeling on your interaction so far?
My gut feeling is a lot of people are willing to work with us, but I don't know how much they want to charge us to work with us. Whenever I was talking with Full Compass, for example, they said, "Oh wow, you have an AV crew who can actually do things. Yeah, we can just do equipment drop, no problem." Which apparently is novel for them. So we'll see what goes from there.
All right, noted. The things that relate and touch on AV. If you guys haven't seen this in chat, a couple of the things that we're going to be working on for the main stage is I'm working with some cat fight in the background. We're working on with a couple people and staff that know some people who do set pieces in the area, and they're going to be making some frames. Basically, I think 4x, basically drywall sheet size frames that we're going to have basically like murals on. We're going to frame the sides of the stage with, and they're going to be painted with like black light paint and have like black lights under them and everything, just to kind of gussy the stage up and make it look nice and everything. I had also brought up the idea of, and just kind of across the board, let me know what you guys think about this. Do you, like when you're watching like an award show on TV and like when they're coming in and out of commercial, and I'm presuming they're actually in person, they have like a DJ or a band that's like playing music between events. The idea crossed my mind the other day about having like a little DJ setup like off to the side in the main. Somebody could be playing if they, we would just have like house music from the board if nobody wanted to like take a particular slot between panels, but otherwise if somebody wanted to actually like play music like in the main hall.
You're talking about like doing a Renegade stage in the main hall.
It's calling it a Renegade stage is a little, that's saying a little too much, because it wouldn't necessarily have like a full like light setup and everything, but and it would be more structured. Like between the events, it'd be quieter. It would just be background music, so people could still talk in the main hall and everything. But it was just an idea that I had, just because the silence between panels, like, is always something that's kind of like, or to me, I feel like there could be something there. And so just having like somebody in there playing music is something that crossed my mind. Does anybody see any downside with that?
I'm seeing that like maybe we could just make a playlist of things that we play in between panels, having like an actual DJ. I'm just not feeling that personally. I don't have a valid reason for it, but it's just not. I'm not feeling it.
Okay, I mean, like the playlist. Yeah, we would do the playlist in case nobody wanted to actually do it, but I really want to put on a show. You know what I mean? Like I really want to take advantage of. Like I said this in the last meeting too. I really want to do everything we possibly can to take advantage of the fact that it's Halloween weekend, and so I'm just trying to think of everything that I can do to kind of like, take like a schedule of panels and turn it into like a show. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to think of things along those lines. Of course, this all comes down to being able to have like the actual equipment to do it and have people interested in doing it in the first place, because maybe DJs won't want to do that. I don't know, but yeah. And so if you guys have any other ideas along those lines, definitely let me know. Just anything that you can think of to kind of make the convention more of like more of a show kind of a thing. Just definitely let me know. Excuse me. David, were you going to say something?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how much of an option this is, but I know Brenda did that Zecora episode with the original Nightmare Nights episode. Is she going to be one of our guests of honor?
Because this is a public broadcast, we're not going to talk about unannounced guests here.
Good point. That was a trap. Well done.
That was a test.
Yeah, it was a test, obviously.
I'm actually, in addition to that, I'm actually not familiar with what you're referring to, so I would need to look into that. But in terms of involving some of our guests with something like that, I mean, I would love to, but that potentially can get tricky with contracts and like, yada yada yada. So a lot of times, if they're in character, like it has to be like a more controlled, like no recording and all that. So it can get stickier. So I'm not familiar with what you're referring to. So Drew, do you know what he's talking about?
Do you watch the show, Charlie?
With the what now?
I'm actually not familiar with what happened at. You saying this happened at Nightmare Nights, the convention?
No. Nightmare Nights, the episode.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant the convention too.
Luna Eclipsed.
Okay, what about then? You gotta start over. What?
In the episode Luna Eclipsed, it's all about Nightmare Night, and Zecora is a character in that episode, and she's taking all the fillies and colts around and like telling spooky stories and things. So.
Oh, so you're saying basically having a guest basically be the greeter and saying, "Hey, welcome to Halloween," kind of thing,
or even just like a cosplayer,
okay.
Arrange that, going around and telling the stories, just setting the atmosphere in general.
I mean, that'd be an idea, but we wouldn't be able to have a guest do it because it'd just be way too time-consuming. But definitely a cosplayer if we can find one to do with Zecora.
That might be a good panel, if you think about it, if we could do that possibly. Not necessarily have it interactive over the weekend, but possibly a
Corey
panel
can't get in.
One time the whole time, so.
That's hilarious. Corey can't get into his own meeting.
Jason, you're gonna have to leave.
Can I get volunteer, somebody to drop out? You.
Hilarious.
This has not happened before. I've never had this many people show up to the meeting. So, I guess.
It's a good problem.
If you'd taken my idea about getting this as non-profit, we could have as many people as we want.
I asked. Not going to happen. Yeah, so I had brought up the idea of having sort of like a master of ceremonies of a kind, or having like a cosplayer be kind of like the host of the convention, like basically giving them our Periscope account and like doing interviews and running around and doing stuff in between and everything. I haven't had a good suggestion for somebody to fill that role yet. I know Cowboy Dave mentioned somebody. He was going to try and find me some references of like similar MC type work that they've done before. I haven't seen that yet though. So, but if anybody knows somebody that would be good for that kind of thing, definitely let me know. But yeah, hi Corey.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
Boss is in the house.
Yep, I'm here.
All right. So Corey, just to catch you up, we basically just covered tabletop briefly with Sarah. Sarah, real quick, did you want to reiterate your questions to Corey just in case they had fallen off his plate just in the middle of everything?
Yeah, I was hoping to verify that we have prizes from last year's the card game that didn't get used, it came late, and also verify that we have board games and see if you can get me a list at some point.
That was to you, Corey.
Yeah.
Corey frozen?
It looks like he froze up.
Perhaps.
I think he totally froze. He was just so afraid of the question.
Corey is brought to you by BBC iPlayer.
Eyes. It's actually kind of nice seeing him that way. He's like just frozen in time, perfectly.
Oh, he got kicked out of the.
Oh, I see. His connection dropped, and now he's still here, so he can't join.
You have to kick out the conjure, Charlie.
Mod. Charlie, you're now the con chair. Congratulations.
Hooray!
And that's how it works.
That's how the sausage is made, ladies and gentlemen.
Speaking of sausages, Sausage Party looks really good. Also,
which
one of
means
the Pony VAs is in it, by the way. I'm not going to tell you who.
It's obviously Jason Statham. You know, the new voice of Twilight Sparkle.
Right.
Yeah. But
waiting for Corey to come back so we can answer that question before we move on.
Fine, Charlie's the con chair, Serverette's the new co-chair.
Oh God, don't do this to me.
I'm not sure how to take that.
Well, I'm sorry, was it Stephanie or Jennifer? I forgot your name. I'm very sorry. The board game, tabletop liaison. I forgot your name already.
Sarah.
Sarah.
Or Flutterpunk on the.
It's on her call or hangout thing.
I could have highlighted that. I'm sorry. I do have some board games I was going to bring to MLPMSP that I will be willing to donate to the con if you'd like to have them.
Awesome, or even just during the weekend is
Sure.
more the merrier.
Yeah, I'll bring them out. So.
To answer
And don't bring anything that you won't be sad if you don't get back.
Exactly.
They've been sitting in our storage room for the last 7 years. I'm not worried about it.
All right. Corey, did you hear any of Sarah's questions before you fell off?
I heard a good chunk of it. It was asking about the some of the prizes we got, which I'll have to dig through our stuff to see if we have that because I don't recall seeing it in our inventory. As for tabletop gaming stuff, we have some stuff. We have a few, and I can get you that list now that I've cleaned out my garage and reorganized all my con stuff. I can get you a list of the board games that we currently have.
Awesome. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, cool. So, just quick, Corey, you never saw the CCG prize pack that we got last year?
Oh! Sorry, I misheard that. Yeah, I have that. I know where that's at. It's in,
Okay.
I brought that into the house so it wouldn't get ruined. Yeah, I have that in my other bin in my closet.
Cool.
Yeah, I have
Yeah,
that.
because otherwise I was going to be searching for more prizes for that, because I do want to push that this year. So.
Sarah, remind me off the top of my head, are you local to Milwaukee?
I am Madison.
You're Madison, okay.
So yes.
I don't know if it would benefit try and see if you wanted to get your hands on that beforehand just to see what exactly is in it, just for planning purposes. But yeah, just a side suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have yeah, Corey, we've got 10 people on the call, which has not happened before. So if there's anybody that we don't really have anybody to volunteer to drop at the moment.
Well, I have to leave soon anyway.
No, okay. Cool. So Sarah, unless you had anything else, yeah. Appreciate it very much. Thank you.
There you go. There's space now, Mike. You can go. Is it unusual to have this many people, as much attendance?
It hasn't happened to me before. Wait, is he in the room with you?
Yeah, why doesn't he just get on your...
He could just come sit next to you, you know.
Yes, come sit on Corey's lap.
Don't come sit near me, Mikey. That's not really. Says I smell, which is probably pretty accurate.
You always smell.
Jeez. So kind.
Okay, so I guess I'll just go down my list here in order of department. Royal Guard. You have anything that you need help with? Do you have any questions at this stage? Where I know that there's not a ton for you to do pre-con, but yeah, anything you need from us? Cannot hear you. Your mouth moving? Cannot hear you.
Uh-oh. Danger.
While Matt figures out his audio, we'll go to registration. Registration. Okay, so Nolan, I know you're familiar with the registration space, and I know that Mike is too. What I would like to see from you guys is I'd like to see sort of like a floor plan flow chart, beforehand, to kind of like figure out like this is gonna be the line for people, like this is where people who have pre-registered go. This is where people who that's a small space, but if we need to, like, I want to, I say this every time, but I'm going to say it again, like, I want to do everything we possibly can do to avoid line con. So, like, if we need to, at least for, like, the morning rushes, like, set up, like, another, like, table or two or something like that, just to get people moving, because the worst thing in the world is for people to start their convention experience with getting frustrated and upset because they're in line for an hour or whatever.
Yeah.
So
that can be taken care of with some properly placed signage and some open stanchion. It's really just a quick fix. It's just looking at the photos that Corey gave me from last year, planning something out, discussing with Mike, see what he wants to do, and then having enough staff to expedite it. It really won't be that challenging.
I mean, I appreciate that, but it hasn't happened yet. So that's why I'm saying, like, I would like to, like, see your guys' plan ahead of time so that we can review it and maybe bounce suggestions off each other to try and make sure that we've got a good plan in place. And then just to remind you, I'm going to remind it every time, because if this if something happens with this and it gets forgotten or screwed up somehow, like I'm not going to be a happy camper. But just to remind you that I believe the two highest sponsor tiers have basically it's like a white glove like registration service. It's designed to be a no wait in line. Like, maybe it's somewhere else entirely, but I just need your guys' suggestion for how we can get those top two spots zero wait. And what I don't want to do is have them, like, stepping in front of people who've been standing in line. So I'm thinking probably have it be somewhere completely separate and off to the side, whether it's a table like at the other end of the hallway, maybe it's an ops, I don't know. But whatever suggestion you guys have to make sure those people get registered with zero wait, because that is the promise that we made as part of those sponsor packages.
So here's a question. Do we potentially want a different space altogether for pre-registration and reg early on that Friday? I'm not suggesting utilizing a different function space for it, putting a different room. Rather, we have the entire atrium space that come in the morning doesn't get used that often, that we could potentially shift all the pre-con or like the pre-registered people over there, so it breaks down those two lines, but then also alleviates the extra space that we need for main events, because that always gets backed up too when we're waiting to do opening ceremonies, and that always gets nut to butt with the registration line. That's where a lot of the chaos really hits, is everything is in that pre-function space under registration.
Okay.
Yeah, if that's an option, yeah, that'd be great.
That would work. There'll be like a tiny bit of logistics, but that shouldn't be a humongous issue. I think that is a good alternative to definitely investigate.
Logistically, I can make it work. The height has enough open stanchion, we can create some lines, and then we can just use gaffer's tape to signify a line down below. And that's just going to take coordination between registration and Royal Guard to make sure there's enough people there to dictate where traffic's going, so that we can have that flow better. Just for that first 3 or 4 hours while everyone's rushing in on Friday to get their stuff.
Corey, I didn't hear a word you just said. Can you say that again, please?
Starting at what point?
The second you open your mouth again, because literally I didn't hear a word you said.
Okay,
And it happened again.
I'm just me being a dick.
Come on, Dan. We're supposed to be back serious here. So, but basically, to understand, probably Friday mornings and Saturday mornings are likeliest to have the highest number of people show up. Is that what we're kind of eyeballing right now?
Probably on that Friday morning for the first 4 hours. And then I was saying before, you just have to communicate with Royal Guard to make sure they have people to help direct lines with gaffer's tape down below for whatever rope and stanchion the Hyatt doesn't have after that, because they don't have dick for stanchions. So we have to kind of makeshift some stuff, or we have to actually go out and buy our own and just have those in a garage or storage locker or some sort somewhere.
Okay.
Okay, so Nolan, take that back to Mike and come up with a plan for that. Yeah, as far as how many stations, Corey, how many iPads have you acquired proper iPads yet, or are we still borrowing from various people?
Oh, of course I've got new iPads and one. No, we're still using interim ones that I have, ones that mine, Ashley's. At some point I should probably acquire enough. If I can get a projected number of how many you guys would like, I can work on that, because I got to buy some for Anime Milwaukee too, so I can kind of co-use them.
Hey, on that note, Corey, when you find out how many you actually need, let me know, because my buddy works at Apple right now, so he might be able to get us a deal depending on how many of them we're looking to get.
I would say a good number off the top of my head would be at the tops 4. Anything beyond that is just superfluous.
Well, but Corey was talking about getting them for his other functions as well, so you can buy them all at once and it'll save everybody money.
That's good, because I think I need 10 to 14 total.
10 to 14? Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be plenty for us for sure.
Yeah.
And then cool. So, and then Nolan, at MSP, I talked to you and Mike about coming up with like an inventory list of all the supplies you guys would need and everything. So, if just go ahead and kind of go over that and refine that again, and just let us know what, if anything, that you guys are going to need in terms of supplies in addition to equipment, and also just come up with your required, like, we have to have these things, it'd be nice to have these things, and in the fantasy world it would be great to have these things, like, just come up with those lists, and we'll go from there.
Absolutely.
Cool. Side note, by the way, if any managers do not have access to the staff list, just click the link and request access to it, and I'll let you in.
Like I found out today.
Yeah. And then review your staff and just make sure that you're happy with everybody that you have on there and the number of people you have in your department. Enough, or you think you have too many. If you have too many people on staff to be able to make sure everybody gets in their 20 hours, let me know and I can see if I can shift some people around. Cool. Corey, did you have anything that you wanted to jump into? I don't want to run this whole thing.
No, I mean, at this point, just going through to kind of department reports and seeing where we're at, seeing what we need, seeing what people are dropping, not necessarily dropping the ball on, but need assistance with.
Cool.
So I think really just going through that, I don't have anything super pressing or big announcement-wise.
Okay. So then, just going down my list, vendor hall, Mike. I know that you guys have the. So you sent out approvals and declines to everybody on the list, right? So I can post on social media.
Yeah, we sent out approvals
email,
and we sent out wait lists to everybody on the list.
Okay.
I think Corey said that 10 people have paid so far.
Yeah.
And we have until another, I think it's 10 days at this point for them to still pay before we start moving on to the wait list people.
Okay. Do you have it on your to-do list to send out a reminder to people who haven't paid?
Yeah, I was actually going to do that in the next 2 days. I was going to do it on Friday.
Okay.
Just send out so that they had at least a full week as like a nice little reminder buffer zone area.
Okay. Corey, have you been marking off on the spreadsheet who's paid and who as we've been going? I haven't done that yet.
Not in the present moment, but in Eventbrite, each one has their vendor name in there with the person's actual name next to it, so it'll take like 5 minutes to go through.
Cool. If next time I'm in there, if I haven't, if you haven't gotten to it first, I'll add them on there.
It'll take me 5 minutes. I can go through it. I can go through it tonight here.
Okay, cool. All right. And then in terms of just the rest of Vendor Hall is concerned, do you, Mike, do you think that you're going to just use the same layout that we did last year? Or did you want to make any changes to that?
I thought the layout last year was fine. Like, if anything, if we wanted to, we could potentially add a table or two in one of the corners. But, I mean, otherwise, I thought it was fine. I thought it gave ample space.
I like money.
Yeah, exactly. I know Corey likes money, but I mean, we can really wait and see as to who pays and who doesn't. Because if some of the like 2 booth people don't pay, I know in that back corner we only had 1 booth in it last year, but it could have easily fit 2.
Okay. You sent that correction to Rainbow Dashy, right?
Yeah, I already talked to him.
Cool. Just checking.
Yeah, he was totally fine afterwards.
Yeah,
after his like minor freak out.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good guy. He does that, but it's he's a panicker. He's a good guy.
Only kid's awkward. Come on.
Let's see. Then Corey, is Ashley with you?
What?
Is Ashley with you?
Oh, no, sorry. For some reason, your computer mic works. His computer works a lot better. Mine fuzzes in and out. No, she's not with me. She is at home right now, back in Kenosha. I'm still in Chicago right now.
Oh, okay. The one thing related to the ConStore department that I'm going to talk about is she had dumped a whole ton of ideas of potential merch into the ConStore chat there. Have you had a chance to look over that at all? Did you have any thoughts on that? And also, to anybody who's watching, either just viewing and you want to pop something in the Q&A in the Hangout, or to managers that are here in the chat, any suggestions for merch? Aside from the obvious, we're going to have shirts, we're going to have lanyards, glassware, whatever. But any ideas for merch that you think would be really good sellers?
Oh, man, that flask, though.
The flask?
No, I'm looking at her ConStore ideas right now.
Oh, okay.
It's actually a pretty good idea for us. No PJ bottoms; those things do not move.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's like the cold is the perfect time for it, but I don't know if it's necessarily 100% something that we would move a lot of.
I'm just when that's the investment, it wouldn't pay off.
No. But has everyone seen this list, or should I just share it real quick with her ideas?
Yeah, go ahead and read it off.
Okay. So I mean, the basic, of course, there's T-shirts. She put PJ flannel, PCF bottoms. Plushies exclusive to the con, so there's a question mark with it. Maybe instead of the exclusive VIP ones, so it's separating out the 2. Flasks, beer/cider stein, in quotes that these were popular, so the ones we had last year. Shot glasses, in quotes, maybe in more colors. A coffee mug, which you already do, / travel thermos, which might be nice. Pins/buttons, we've done pins in the past. A not cheap looking version of the messenger bag from last year.
Messenger bag was crap.
Oh my god. Okay. So backstory for anyone who's on here who hadn't gone to Winnie City. So we ordered some really, what I thought at the time, some pretty good looking messenger bags off of our usual merchandise website. And of course, it's kind of hard to dictate and gauge what you're going to get. But man, when we got those, they were the cheapest, chintziest cloth material. So it's like taking one of those reusable bags that you get from the store that you put like all your groceries and shit in, and turn that into a really flat, bad-looking messenger bag that couldn't fit a laptop more than like 14 inches in it. It was pitiful. It was so bad, and I felt so bad. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to charge like $35 for these messenger bags. They're going to be great. I think we sold for like $8 a piece. And it cost us like $6 and some change to get.
Yeah, we'll be getting samples this time ahead of time.
So that's our backstory on those. But yeah, we'll get samples beforehand. We got some time to do that now. And then she put cell phone charms in cases. Charms, yeah. If do phones even have spaces for them anymore? It's like a
People
1990.
put them now either on their DS cases or like from their headphone jack.
Okay.
Or if you have like a case on your phone, some of the cases have a little place to hang a charm off of. Just
Okay.
depends on it.
I can see the charms. I don't know how I feel about cases because there's so many phone variants and it goes out of style right away. So like by next year, if you had any leftovers, then they're going to be useless.
Yeah.
Quantity and then offer the next year's iPhone. It's like iPhone 10 by the time we're at.
Corey, did you want to do the something like the pins again?
Oh, I mean like the ones through Igor?
Yeah.
Yeah. I already had planned on talking to him a little bit about that.
Okay. Just let me know what you want for designs. Also,
Okay.
please poke Barb about art.
Poke.
Well, poke Barb about Halloween themed art.
Oh, okay. Oh, Mike helped me with that one.
Yeah, I see you staring at me from over there, Corey, as soon as you said that.
Yep.
Oh, something that I didn't hear on the list, but I know we talked about at BronyCon potentially, those challenge coins.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Something else to poke Igor about, or Taryn.
Yeah. So, do people here are people here on the call familiar with the challenge coin, what it's meant for, and how it's used?
Yeah.
Somebody just explained to me what a challenge coin was like I think it was on the podcast. So yes, I just learned.
Okay. Where's my? Okay, here's my wallet.
Oh, I was gonna say, Corey, if you don't have it, I'll challenge you right now.
Don't do that. So the basic concept, just for those who aren't aware, because I only heard one person say yes. So a challenge coin could be anything, big or small, whatever you have. Recent one I got from Taryn, a friend of mine. It's like this, little challenge coin. The basic concept is you keep it with you, and someone can challenge you. That's the challenge coin portion. Typically, this is at like a bar or a place getting food or whatever. You challenge the person, and if I challenge someone and say Mike, I challenge him, then he has the coin. I have to buy him and my lunch or beer or whatever. In the same tune, if I show and he doesn't, then he has to buy for everybody. And that's everyone in the room that owns a challenge coin. So you're not just challenging that one person. So it's a nifty idea. It's a cool collector's item. Something we might consider having. Long drawn out story for it's a Wisconsin beer drunk idea.
But it started with the military.
And could be fun at the cider lounge too. So.
I like that. That's cool. Okay, so yeah. If anybody has any other ideas for merch, we did have a comment. Gotta get back to the correct window. Charlie Sasser suggests stickers. Stickers should be pretty easy to do. Those you can usually will pay for themselves pretty well, I would say.
Where are you seeing comments, by the way?
Baskets or buckets. I'm not
like candy
what
bucket?
that means, but okay. Maybe.
That would make sense because I think trick-or-treating was mentioned at the last meeting, like going to different departments. So that would make sense.
Oh, you know what? No. What the kids department is talking about doing is they're going to have a kids event, a craft session before, where people will decorate and like kind of make their own treat bags, and then the trick-or-treating event will follow immediately after that. So yeah, at least in terms that's going to be covered via arts and crafts. I'm not sure if it's I'm not sure what exactly they're going to be decorating. That's all them, but they've got a plan. Figurines, I would love to have like little 3D printed Barleys and caramels, but those are pricey. And trying to find somebody to like do the 3D design and everything is probably more than we have time to do, just with everything else. And then hats, maybe. But thanks for the suggestions. Real quick, just as long as I'm looking at this, he also asked, just non sequitur real quick, my only two questions at this moment are, what other plans do you have for the mascots, Barley and Caramel? And I'm not sure if you're referring to like their social media presence, or I'm not sure what you're asking there. And then how good will security be this year? Excellent is the answer to that question. And I know this because the guy that we have in charge of our security this year, he's been doing really like 14 years or something like that. Really long. And
Security's going to be perfect.
Very good at what he does. He knows what he's doing. And yeah, good sized security staff. So I mean, like, obviously there's potential for things to happen. Knock on wood somewhere. Yeah, I won't be really having any security problems this year. That we aren't. You know, we're taking all the precautions we possibly can, and then so we'll see how things go. Anything else Constore related, Corey, you want to talk about?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. Besides, we're always going to keep it separate from registration. We might put that out somewhere else to alleviate that space. That's about it.
Okay, cool. Are you is Constore going to be in vendor hall, or is it going to be a separate, like, over by registration again?
Yeah, so the console will always be outside of the vendor hall, just in case. I know that Constore tends to open up a little bit beforehand, because we like to open the Constore up in concurrent with Reg.
Oh, right, for autograph vouchers and nothing else.
Yeah, autograph vouchers and merch and whatnot, what have you.
Okay, cool. Okay, so that covers all of the operations departments. Serverette, did you have anything operations in general that you wanted? Anything from us at this time, or anything? Do you need anything from your department heads?
I sent a message to all my department heads about getting a list of the tasks you want to complete before con, and I've received exactly 0 of them. So maybe that. Other than that, I did have an idea for tracking, like, people that are on and off radios. Like, if you're a deputy head or above for your department, you would have to call to operations saying that you're going off radio, so we're not looking for people that don't have a radio. I just want anyone else's feedback on that idea.
We don't have deputy heads, first of all.
Well, okay.
They're called department heads here, just to clarify.
Sorry, department heads.
Speaking of radios, what about the idea about boosts?
Ooh.
Boosts are expensive.
Mm-hmm. Very.
Very much so.
But they're very useful.
Well, Drew, you can pick them up for the comments.
Oh yeah, totally. Me and my medical.
At least in terms of a con of our size and a venue of our size. I mean, like, the radios seem to be sufficient unless you're getting all the way up into the whatever the top floor is called now, Polaris, or if they change the name or whatever.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's called The View.
The View. That's a show. Why would they call it that? So it's an odd choice, but okay.
Their idea, you're going to go see The View. You know.
Oh, I got it. Still bad. Yeah. So I don't know. At least in terms of us, I don't think. I mean, like, I don't know. Probably. I mean, like, something that's like the size of, like, BronyCon. Well, then yeah, that's something different. But yeah.
I mean, obviously I want Boost just because I like them, but to be perfectly honest, for our venue size.
Yeah.
I've been screened from the 18th floor.
Yeah, we're
on the second.
Cool. Anything else, Serverette?
That's pretty much it.
Cool. Does anyone have any operations for ops, Royal Guard, registration, exhibit hall, Constore, anything that hasn't been discussed?
No.
Okay. All right, so let's move on to programming. So just as a reminder to people, in case if you weren't aware, panel applications will be closing at the August 31st. After that, panel selection will begin, and after talking with Dave and them beforehand, or previously, I think they said that that they believe that they should be able to select and notify all the accepted panelists within 2 weeks, and then so that puts us in the mid-September with and then hopefully 2 weeks then to get all the information up on the website and get it prepped for the con book and everything. So if anyone has any comments about that plan, feel free to bring them up now. Otherwise,
question. I have a question. Do we think that we have enough applicants in the pool to fill up our all of our room usage?
Well, currently we have, good lord, currently we have 45 applications. Now I'm noticing that a lot of these are duplicates from the same people. Like there are 6 from the same person that are the most recent 6 in here. So we're probably not, probably won't all have room. But I do think that filling, it looks like at this pace, filling main hall plus 2 panel rooms will not be a problem. I also don't know how many of these are games and kids events, and I haven't looked at this at all. So, were you thinking of closing early, or?
No, I was just making sure we had enough to see if we had to extend it to make sure we could fill out the programming.
Oh, okay. No, I don't think that will be a problem at all. And I very, very, very much want to avoid having to extend it, because then that just puts more pressure on, well, all the PR stuff. We're getting all that stuff done. So, yeah, I don't think it'll be a problem. But avoiding extending it is not something I would personally like to do, just because. But yeah, looks like we'll be okay though. Vivid, out of curiosity, do you have access to the responses, and have you looked over them at all?
I do have access, but sorry.
I don't know that I have access yet. I have not looked at them at all. If you could send me the link, I'll start taking a look at those.
Yeah, I'll add you. And then yeah, just anything that you want to do as far as like pre-mixing any or pre-approving any that that you think are almost certainly or not certainly going to be included.
Yeah, I'll start with yes, no, maybe stuff, and then Dave can take a look.
Cool. I just shared that with you.
Marvelous, thank you.
Anything proactive that we can do to make things go quicker and better. It is my goal to not have to pay a single rush fee on any deliverables. Hooray, hooray.
But now you've jinxed it.
Yes, now I have. Curse me, curse me.
You literally did this over the radio last time, too. Nothing can go wrong now.
Thanks, Charlie.
AV promises that we will not be the cause for any power problems this year.
Oh, here we go.
Well, that's a jinx. If I ever heard one.
Great. Now we're gonna blow everything.
It's not gonna snow the whole weekend.
Yeah. The venue's just gonna lose power. Yeah, that's it.
That's
the entire thing for the entire weekend.
I can make it snow. I'll bring the theater snow machine.
Yeah, awesome. As long as it's
get out.
Can we make it snow in the atrium, Corey?
No.
Yo, I will bring a snow machine for free if we can make it snow in the atrium.
I think it'd be kind of funny.
Will it still snow with it being in October instead of November?
This is Milwaukee we're talking about, probably.
Oh,
yeah.
You don't know Milwaukee very well.
No, I don't.
Wait 5 minutes.
In this region, I think 9 out of 10 of the last Halloweens it has snowed, or been incredibly crappy. One of the two, but yeah.
Gotcha.
Hooray for Midwest weather. I do have good news. We'll move on to special events. The gentleman that went last year to be our waltz instructor contacted me, and he is willing to do it for us again. So, so our waltz instructor looks like is going to be taken care of, provided that he expressed interest and said, if you're interested, let me know, and I'll see if I can make it work. It sounds hopeful. It's not in stone yet, but here's hoping, because I was a fan of that gentleman's.
Yay!
He's going to have to learn how to waltz to Armin van Buren.
No. That's no. Danielle, special events. Have you gotten the chance to do any of the Archfight or anything under your umbrella?
I need the documents from last year's gala, like what was ordered, stuff like that. Corey, I think Lucy or you have those documents.
I have a list of them somewhere. I've got a an email I can find that I sent out to our hotel rep, and I can forward that email over to you, or I can just download the it's a banquet event order that has a list of everything that we ordered.
I felt what we ordered last year went over really well, so more desserts possibly, but past that,
Do you think
I
the
think
quantities that we had of everything was the right amount?
maybe a little less cheese, maybe a little bit more dessert, but yes, quantities were otherwise fine. Past that,
I think desserts are cheaper than cheese, so I think that works.
They are.
As someone who attended that event, the desserts did go very quickly, and there was one dish that I don't quite know what it was, but it didn't get eaten a lot. I think there was a lot of plates left over for that.
Okay.
It was something with beans, and it just didn't taste very good. So.
Oh dear.
Yes.
More of that so people don't eat the food. Got it. Okay.
Just all that.
The auction. How did people feel that ran last year who weren't part of it?
What, the charity auction?
Yeah.
My feedback on that is pretty much auction at every PonyCon that I've ever seen it been to, and that's just that it went over, and which is I guess a good problem to have when you've got a lot of stuff to donate and opportunities to make money and all that. But
it's a good problem to have a lot of stuff, but not when people not when the MCs are taking like 15 minutes per object.
That's the thing. Yeah, it's just whoever. I don't know if anybody has any ideas for who we could have. Oh no, Big Jim. Jim's
Jim.
That's right. Yeah. Big Jim's Roadshow charity auction or whatever we're gonna call it. But yeah, anybody who saw
so much more money.
Yeah. Any of you who were lucky enough to be at Winnie City and to see Jim Miller just scare the living daylights into people into buying some of the charity.
And auction off butt slaps.
He got us to the point to where he scared people so much they donated cash to this thing.
Take my money, stop yelling at me.
He scared Corey into donating $600.
Oh wow!
I want him. Can we have him?
Yeah, we're having him. We talked about this with him before. He is unless he forgot. This is a discussion that we've already had. And
oh no, he hasn't forgotten.
Okay, yeah, no, I didn't think so. No, he.
I made sure of that.
Okay, good. Yeah. So that'll be MC for the charity auction is handled. But in terms of Corey, you and Mike did the auction last year, right? And with Screwloose, am I remembering that right?
Yeah, it was a combination of Screwloose did it. I think Arn came up for a little bit, and then it was me draft. Yeah, and that's why I think it took 15 minutes per.
The ramblings. It was the ramblings.
Any feedback for Danielle and organization side of things?
No, I think the biggest things organization-wise for that was, I think, just getting a couple people to keep the MC going. But I don't think we'll have that problem with Big Jim. It was just keeping draft and Screwloose from shutting up. Really, I think the best organization to have on the post-it note with the item, like the pieces, who they're done by, what the starting amount is, because sometimes we didn't have a starting amount on those. We were just like, $10, all right, let's see how this goes, And I know we did this at Winnie City. I think the organization, when things go out, some of the more expensive things should probably go first. I know it sounds weird.
Yeah.
We had that issue at Winnie City. And this is what came of that donated item, is that the artist came up and was like, "Oh, I would love to see this thing go for $1,200." And then the bid started off at $250 because it was the last item. It was the biggest, bulkiest item, and that caused a lot of
hesitation.
I don't want to say embarrassment of the people trying to donate and the artist, but it caused a lot of awkwardness up on the stage, and I think that was a lot of that could have been mitigated by either them going earlier on, or letting the artist know that the expectation of like don't name a dollar price and start it low with the hope that it'll go higher. You just don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Something that happened. I think this is the first nightmare at the second nightmare I was at. The day of auction, they literally were in green room filling out line numbers, everything they had before they brought it on stage. So if we could do something like that, I think that would really expedite the process.
They were doing what?
What we had happen, Jason was back in there, and we're writing down descriptions and who donated it, basically how to get in touch with them. So we had line item of what was going on stage when.
Kind of like what they do at BronyCon, but what you're talking about is the VIP items. Not all the items are VIP items.
No, well, that's just where they happen to have all the the charity auction stuff was in green room. That's what just happened in that situation.
Nolan, are you talking about like having when people drop off an item like at the charity table, having a little slip where we just say, "Hey, could you please fill this out?"
I think that would come in very handy because that's something we can
normally do that?
We actually had that last year where the artist dropped off. They had to sit or say what the title of it was. They had to list their name, contact information, small description, and starting bid. So we had a sheet actually that everyone filled out. I actually I think threw out the one from last year like 2 weeks ago when I was deep cleaning my apartment. So
my idea for that would be note cards though, so that they can take them on stage with just a note card for the item.
that would probably be a good idea. I think having like a master list would be good, but
as well as
I like the idea of a note card because that would have made it a lot easier when I was trying to like group stuff together. We're running out of time. Oh no!
Also, that way you can sort it by price as well.
I was also thinking too that you could probably group bundle some things early on too to help reduce that risk of running low on time. I know that you're scrambling. So I remember that scrambling at the end. We're trying to group things together. Sometimes it might just be good to be like, here's a print. Here's an artist print collective of shit that people donated.
Well, like we wanted to do Mitch's stuff individually at first, and then we ended up putting it all together.
Yeah. I think combos are going to be better now because a lot of artists would be like, I've got this really cool print that I barely sell, but I think you guys should have it. Here. I'm like, oh, thanks. It'll go for $10. Let's combine it with the other 5 that don't go, and maybe we can get $100 out of it and just name all the artists that have given off the print. And we ended up with an ass load of prints by the time we were done.
Yeah, as this conversation was reminding me that one of the pieces of feedback we got after last year was that apparently somebody donated something to the auction that was like a basket with some stuff, and I think this is Cider Fest last year. I might be confusing my cons, but I believe it was Cider Fest last year. They said that somehow some of the items in their basket got broken up, like or something like that. So. Where I'm going with this is maybe also add to the application. If I believe this is on, we're going to have a web app. Like pre-fill out their information for their stuff, and then when they drop it off, they can say, "I already filled it out online." There's the thing, so just to kind of save time and expedite things. But I think one of the questions on there is are you okay with this item being combined into a lot or broken up into pieces if necessary?
I like that idea.
Yeah.
I think at that point it's okay. I think at that point it might be okay if we get some people that are like, no, I don't want this thing broken up, or no, I don't want to combine if it's like one print. I don't know if I want to be mean or rude to be like, well, it needs to be combined or we can't accept it because we've just had too many. I don't know what the best approach on that is.
Just call it a preference. Do you have a preference of, this not being combined?
Yep, that's perfect.
Yep, I like it.
I think it's a good disclaimer too to let people know that we cannot guarantee everything you donate will be auctioned off.
Sure. No, I think that's that. Yeah. Does anybody think that's not just a given? Has anybody ever encountered a situation where somebody donated something and it was it didn't make the cut and it didn't get in? They were upset about it. Has anybody seen that?
Well,
not upset.
Even if it's a given, we should put it in writing, so that
that's fair.
We have the right. We have the right to use our discretion. There's this one artist who continually donates this one print of Fluttershy in a very odd position that Andrea really hates to see.
I know what you're talking about.
Every single convention I see this thing in the auction.
Well, I think at the point in which we receive the items, we should be more diligent and be like, no, that's too risque. Don't bring it.
Yes. Exactly.
I'm also a proponent, unlike other cons I've been at, where we had to cut the charity auction short and not actually auction off the items. I don't necessarily think that we wouldn't have a reason to not auction them off, because I can push with the high. I can just push back my time as much as we need to have things auctioned off. We're just going to group the crap out of them. But everything will be auctioned off. Whether or not someone bids on it could be a different story too.
Okay.
So I don't think we necessarily need that clause of like, oh well, it may not be auctioned. Like if it's in the auction, we've approved it, it will go.
Well, yeah, that was the idea of if you had a preference. Like, are you okay if do you have a preference if it's grouped with other things or not?
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
everyone say hi to Dave real quick.
Hi, Dave.
Hi, Dave.
You guys hear me?
Hi, Dave.
I just upgraded Windows 10, so I'm not sure if my drivers are working correctly. So
You sound
Were
fine to me.
you on 7 or 8?
7.
Then you're fine.
Oh God.
Okay.
No, if 7 to 10 is fine. 8 to 10 is annoying.
Well, I'm still finding a little stuff that didn't install correctly. Like.
Am I wrong, Charlie?
Monitor.
I personally, I've done probably about 77 to 10 upgrades myself. I've had very few problems. I actually haven't done a single 8 to 10 upgrade because who uses 8?
My office uses 8. Upgraded a dozen Windows 8.
So you use 8.
It took me a week.
Yikes.
So the cutoff date was last week, wasn't it?
Yeah,
last Friday. There's still there's a workaround where you can still get the upgrade if you don't have it yet, but I won't get into that right now.
You don't want to talk about it anymore.
I was up until 2 a.m. upgrading my own machines at home because I hadn't done that yet. So that was fun.
Fine.
Take you 7 hours like other people?
When you install it on about 10 machines I have laying around various ends of my house, yeah.
Took me 3, but I have one computer, so.
All right,
Anyway.
so coming back to the animated horse cons. So.
Small horse cons.
Small horse. Yes.
So, okay, general consensus is form was good. Maybe add the slot of asking if they want to have stuff joined and potentially expanding the time just a little bit. Am I on the same page?
Yes.
Okay. So paperwork for the gala or the charity auction. For the cosplay contest, I had Frederick Hagel offer to 3D print us off some like either cider mug or pumpkin-looking medals to give away as an award for like first place.
Yep. I saw the ones that he did for MSP. They're nice, especially considering he had the printer. He's learning to use it pretty well. So yeah, I would absolutely take him up on that offer.
Okay. And then I think I may have found. I would. Do we know? Like, are we getting the person from the Shakeups? Is she going to be emceeing for us the cosplay contest?
That with them. I certainly hope so because she was great at winning. But I will reach out to her and make sure that she is interested and willing in doing that.
And then I think I have 3 judges, unless I wasn't sure if you wanted to bring in a guest to be a judge, or
Who do you have? Who do you have right now?
I have local cosplayers. There was the Pinkie Pie who opened the rave or the dance 2 years ago. She competes at a master level. Another local cosplayer who competes at a
Sharon, right?
Sharon, yeah, Sharon, Rachel, and then Laura. I figured were skilled and they are familiar with the show. They're all fans, and they like the community. And Laura's attended every year. Laura and Sharon have attended every year, so they're all experienced.
Do you want a 4th judge or potentially 5th judge, or would you rather have 3?
3 is the normal for most conventions, but that's why I was throwing it out there. 4 or 5, I'd be fine with 4. I wasn't sure if you guys would want one of the special guests or somebody to be like a guest, like a super special shiny guest judge, or...
Well, I was thinking, Charlie, do you think Allie would be interested in that?
Possibly. It just sort of depends on...
Willa.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll touch on that in a second just to kind of revisit that particular topic. But yeah, I think what I would say is that there's a couple people that I think might be interested in doing that, but who we haven't announced yet.
Right.
And so when we get closer, and also just depending on how schedules work out, and just seeing who's available how things land, I think it'll kind of depend on our options there. But I personally love the idea of having like a guest of honor, guest judge, because that's exciting for the contestants, especially the kids.
My thought is a new guest would probably be best. Either Willa or the other person. Who we haven't had before.
Yeah.
Allie was interested at MLP MSP in doing the judging, just her schedule wasn't able to fit it. Just worth mentioning. So she'd probably be game for that.
Okay.
Noted. So yeah, just real quick side note, just while it's in my head. So in case you've missed this, in case you're confused about anything, I just kind of wanted to retouch this. So Allie Milner, voice of Princess Ember, she is changing the name that she is going by publicly and to align with her music brand. Willa, it's her middle name, and so she is changing her her acting name. She's flipping around so that it kind of matches, so that she can kind of put everything all under one brand. So what my suggestion would be is make the effort to refer to her and call her and use the name Willa as much as possible. If you accidentally, like I'm sure I know I will accidentally say Allie, like don't make a big deal out of it. Just move on and just try and use Willa as much as possible, because there's going to be a ton of people calling her Allie, but we kind of want to help her make this transition, because this is the first convention she's going to do under the new brand name. I don't know how else to say that, but
I'm just going to call her Wilma.
Don't do
Wilma.
Nope. Calling her.
But yeah, just the point I want to make is just don't make a big deal out if you call her Allie. Don't think you'll apologize or anything, just because everybody's going to be doing it. Just if you call her Allie, just move on. Just call her Wilma next time.
Whichever. What?
Cool.
What?
I have a begging dog.
Oh, doggy! Hi, doggy.
I say, good show.
So basically, let's have her listed as Willa everywhere.
Yeah. We referred to her as Allie.
Oh.
we referred to her as like she'll be in the convo. Willa Milner, but just one time next to her picture, just for anybody who missed the announcement and missed the transition. But we're going to have it in the book just as the one time, just to kind of explain things. But everywhere else, it's just going to be Willa. But yeah, Danielle, other special event stuff.
Bar Trot.
Bar Trot, yes. Bar Trot.
I am going to. I don't know if there's anyone here who went on it in years prior. I have never been on it, so I would love to get some feedback from people who have done this before. Do we want to just take off from the Hyatt and then walk to bars? Like how? I don't know how it's been run in years prior, so I'm really in the dark here.
That's generally how it's been ran before, and I know the two people that organized it last year and the year before, but they're moving to SoCal. And so I doubt they're going to.
So here's my thing. My biggest issue with I went on the pub trot last year, and my biggest issue with it is that basically none of the bars knew we were coming, and so like they didn't have like spaces set up for us, and so like everywhere that we went, like we had a group of like 30 or 40 people with us, and we walk in, and the hostess and the servers were like, where do we put all you people? Like a couple of the stops were nice enough to like quickly throw together party rooms, but still there was that like 5 or 10 minute period where we've got a bunch of people just sitting around like waiting for like a room to be put together. Like they should know that we're coming. They should be ready for us. They should know what time we're going to be there. It should be a schedule, and just like I just want it to be planned. Is really what I'm saying.
Oh, I don't like not planning things. They don't go well if you don't plan them.
That's why you got the job.
Yay, great. But so, all right, is there a point, are we going to be selling tickets prior so we can get kind of a general head count? Because I'm fine calling up local bars and being like, hey, we're going to be bringing at least 30 people into your business. Can we do a thing? And
two answers. First of all, my suggestion is when you're calling up these bars, don't be like, hey, we're bringing people. Be like, hey, we're thinking of bringing people to your place. We're finding out who's interested in having us. If we were to come, what could you do for us? Like, kind of make them work for a little bit, because then that kind of incentivizes them to like give us some sort of drink special to get us to come there in the first place. If you start off with we're already coming, they're not going to want to give us a deal or something.
Yeah. Make sure they know that we're willing to spend money.
Yes. But as far as tickets are concerned, last year all we did were the tickets were free. They were limited quantity just for crowd control purposes. But and for the waiver, there's a waiver that basically says if you get drunk and wander into traffic, it's not our fault. But now at MSP they did charge a fee, and then with your fee you got a special badge ribbon. I survived Gwen's pub truck. And a shot glass. And so, Corey, I'm going to pass this over to you. Do you want to do it like we did last year and have it free just for the purpose of a waiver, or do you like the idea of charging and like giving them some sort of memorabilia?
Well,
do you like money, Corey?
I like money, or do I like free? Like, that was kind of a dumb question, but I guess it really depends. I guess what it really depends on. So I've done a few bar trots or pony pub trots in my time. So there's a couple ways we can do it. We can continue doing the free, which I don't mind, because it's just a nice thing to have people to get out and do something on Thursday. I don't necessarily want to nickel and dime everybody. MLP MSP.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jack.
That's more what I meant. Like, obviously you like money, but on the flip side, like,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool. Yeah, if you charge them $10 and it gets a cool shot glass and a ribbon, I think that's kind of cool, because the shot glasses probably only cost us $4 or $5. So if we were to charge, I would want to make sure that we get some things with it. So Veronica did this a couple of years ago, in 2014. They did a pub trot that was done by Baltimore and done by another group with it, and they charged like $15-$20, and they got a little wristband that had little tear-offs that you got at specific bars you go to, and at those bars you get a free shot or like a free deal, or like buy one drink get a shot for free. So they had things that actually valued to money. That would really be the only time I would feel good about charging people, besides the sheer fact of getting money. If we're going to do it the way we've done it in the past, just keep it free and keep it that way. Just don't do rock bottom. That's my only suggestion. Their drinks are expensive and shit.
I don't think I've ever been there, so but okay, yeah, if anybody who's local, I don't normally bar hop in that area, so I'm fine doing research for what's down there, but if you know of places that are either good or places to avoid, please send me something on Slack so I can add or subtract them from the list.
Boy, I'm sure I can send you a list.
I can send the map and the list of where we went last year. I think last year's stops, like the route and everything, like worked out pretty well. It was nice that they had it so basically like it was like a loop. So your first stop was like really close to the hotel, and then you just kind of like your halfway point is the farthest point away, and then you start to work your way back. There's a couple places that are required stops, like the Safe House is a required stop for sure. And that's the only one I can think of off the top of my head. But yeah, I'll find the list from last year. You can check out those places.
What was that, Corey?
I was asking Charlie if they did 42 Lounge in the past, and what do you guys think about that? Did you do the 42 Lounge in the past at the spot?
42 Lounge was the last stop last year. I remember that, and that place was cool. The drinks were kind of pricey, but it was all right. It was a neat place.
Yeah, I can talk to Linz. I know the owner there, so.
Okay.
I think that's really it for my department, isn't it?
I think so. Oh, Corey, are we doing the bake-off thing this year?
Yeah, that thing.
Sure, if people want to do it. I mean,
that's my question. Do people want to do it? How was the response last year? Like,
it was a lot of staff members actually.
Really?
I'll judge it. I'll taste test it. I'm down.
Oh, good. If Dave taste tests, I'm going to enter.
And yeah, we gave out one of the little steins and a patch, just as a thank you and for placing. So we gave away merch that otherwise I think. So yeah, I think it went over well last year. People seemed really happy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see it at all, so I just wasn't sure what the feedback on it was. So.
It was
But,
Pumpkin spice and pumpkin pies and Halloween.
Buy some apples.
all right.
You better stand at the bake sale table and yell that for me. You can be the hawkers. How does that sound?
Okay, I'm down with that.
I'll get you a hat. It'll be great.
We'll be flim and flam there, so I don't know.
Sure.
We don't need a resident scarecrow. It's okay.
Ouch. Okay, moving on.
I was going to ask, do we have the ability to sell gala tickets, like, on location? Because I did have some people who showed up and they did have nice dress attire, but they hadn't purchased a ticket prior. Is there any way to fix that this year, or will it just be, again, pre-registered event, end of story?
We can do it at the event. I'm just a little leery because my only concern behind that is say that I get enough food for 150 people, but then 50 more people show up and buy tickets at the door. And then now we're talking about a potential of not enough space and food for those extra people who come in.
I'm fine with it being completely a pre-reg. Maybe advertise it a little bit more. We could even play off the Halloween thing and making it a masked gala this year or something. So, I don't know. Never mind.
Maybe just.
No, I mean, it's a good idea to come up with. I think there's a way to. Maybe we can limit the amount that we. That we
just
have.
like. Yeah, like 10 or 20. Just like say like there's a limited amount of gala tickets available at the door, and when they're gone, they're gone. You know, just to not oversell it.
Yeah, that. All right, but I think that's really all from my department, just getting the paperwork, and then I need the list of bars, and I can start calling. Thank you for getting a hold of the Waltz gentleman. Did we figure out if music, are we going to just have a DJ like we did last year?
Yeah, I think that worked out well. Yeah, as long as we can find somebody who's Blue, I don't know if you're listening, but just a reminder on that when you're talking to DJ, see if you can find somebody who's willing to DJ the gala, and it would need to be somebody who's at least semi-familiar with actual like some classical waltz music. Sleepy, when you DJ'd it last year, he did a pretty good job of like transitioning back and forth between actual waltz music for more dancey stuff, and then kind of just mixing it up a bit. So if you can find somebody to fill that role, that'd be fantastic.
Worst case scenario, I know that Larsus has a massive library, and we can pull pretty much anything from that to play if we absolutely need to. So there's that.
And I do have a collection of waltz music.
Okay. Yeah. And we'll go the product we have to. I'd prefer it to be somebody, I always prefer it to be somebody live so that they can feel the audience and adjust the play whatever they're playing appropriately depending on how they're feeling it. But if we have to make a playlist, it's good that some people have got some options for us. So that's good. Cool. Yeah. I'm waiting to hear back from the Waltz guy. So as soon as I've got that confirmed, I'll let you know. And just to reiterate things, I'll reach out to Savvy, see if he's willing to MC the cosplay contest. I will get you the list of bars we did last year. Is that everything?
Yep, for me.
I know you've got the most pre-con stuff to worry about, aside from PR, basically. So just make sure you just keep on me if I don't, if I slack on anything. Just let me know what you need.
I'll try to remember to do that. And the trot is Thursday night.
Correct.
About what time did you guys start trotting?
Okay, so we opened up. We did require people to pick up their badges ahead of time just to prove that they were with the convention. That they were registered attendees. So I think we opened reg from like 5 to like we opened pre-reg at like 5. Earlier is better, but I think at the very least 5. And then I think we left at like 7. 12 or 1.
6:37. It was in that general area about an hour after pre-reg is open. I think that's what it recall.
I think it was everybody starts to gather up at 6:30, and then we leave for the first stop at 7. If people want to catch up, they can catch up. Yeah.
All right, sounds great.
Cool. Okay, awesome. Let's see. Then that brings us to lost my tab. So kids programming. I don't have a representative from kids programming here, but just to kind of summarize some of the stuff that I've seen them talking about and that we've been working on. They're doing a really great job with coming up with a whole ton of like Halloween themed kids activities. It recreates every single one of the carnival games from the Nightmare Nights episode, and then so between the trick or treating event and decorating the candy sets and everything before that, Corey and Drew, something to think about. I know we don't. Just because we can't talk about everybody that we haven't announced yet, but just kind of think in the back of your head if you think that there's anybody that would be, if we could do a sing-along. I absolutely loved the sing-along we had last year, but we don't have Rebecca and Ashley this year, and so I don't know if
Peter be down for it.
Yeah. So would I actually, but I think I would be down for him. Is what I mean by that. But if you guys think that we can make a sing-along work with any of the guests that we have and will be inviting, that'd be awesome. Otherwise, let me know if you have any ideas for a similar...
Of the ones not announced, I don't think, because none of them are really big singers.
Yeah.
The only two that are really musical... Where am I echoing from?
Your house.
Who's not wearing headphones? You're.
Hello? There we go. All right. Sorry. So the only musical ones are Willa and Peter.
Okay. Yeah, I know Willa's watching the show right now, so I could mention to her, hey, if you come across a song that you really like and you want to sing with some kids, let us know. But yeah.
Damn.
But yeah, just some sort of, if the sing-along doesn't work out, just some sort of kids event with any of the guests of honor that we've got on the list would be cool. If you have any ideas for that for kids programming, let us know.
I think it's Vivid who's echoing. Is that better? Yeah. All right. There we go. No. There. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Video gaming, I don't have anybody here from that, but not really much to talk about there since the last meeting, I don't think. So we'll move on. Already talked about tabletop. AV kind of covered. Corey, I think you were not in the call yet when Lars said this earlier, but he's in the progress of, like we talked about before, working on those alternative quotes, and so I think he said he's still on schedule for that.
Okay.
So, on the hospitality side of things, Green Room, Sponsor Lunch, Cider Lunch, Corey, do you need anything from me or anybody else in terms of Lucy getting all that stuff planned out ready and everything, or do you guys just got that?
Besides allergies, which I'm working on.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the basic GR things. They're what they want, their allergies. Was that a cat?
Yeah, they're around.
The way it looked like is like down in the back. And
there's a tree right there, and so
yeah.
No, Michelle was throwing the cat.
It just looked
that's
like
entirely possible.
Because it went in screen from there and then just like poof behind you and it was gone. Sorry.
Cats, how do they work?
So allergies we need just the once. Otherwise, I think everything's pretty on par. I think the only thing I want is that contact information, or actually I could probably just look it up. The that one cider bar that reached out to us. We should probably poke at them again to see if they didn't get creeped out by realizing that the Cider Fest was a pony one. And for most who didn't know, there's a new cider bar that's opened up in Milwaukee, and they had reached. Yeah, and they reached out to us. What, Charlie?
Wait,
2-3 weeks
they
ago?
reached out to us?
Yes.
Yeah, they emailed us and they said, "Hey, we see you're called Cider Fest. Would you like to do something cider related?" And I said, "Sure, we're a PonyCon and we'd love to do something cider related." And then they never responded. So
You terrified them. You should not have opened with that.
well, I kind of figure if they, I'll do the Band-Aid thing. If they're not interested, we'll get them out of consideration right away.
Are you sure it's not in your drafts?
So,
yes, I'm sure.
Yeah, so long story short, yes. So once we reached out, I said, yeah, we're a My Little Ponies themed Ponyville Cider Fest. And I don't know why they wouldn't have seen that in the fucking email, but I digress. We should reach out to them again. Beyond that, I think everything's pretty on par. We just order whatever stuff for the sponsor lounge, whatever we need for the cider. Lucy's got all that handled, and usually can throw something together a week and a half before show and be good.
And semi-related side note in terms of just on the lines of reaching out to local people. Drew, you'll probably be excited to know this. I think I told Corey, I think I told you this already, but I reached out to our tour guide friend from Lakefront from last year.
Yes.
And I'm trying to see if maybe Lakefront Brewery wants to do something with us in some fashion, or I don't know what yet. He's
some extra special thing.
What's that?
That is my thumb of approval.
Oh, he's totally interested, but he's not in the position, of course, to he's not.
He can't offer anything, but he can pass it along.
Yes, and so I'm gonna poke him and see if he's made any progress with that at all. But yeah, just another venue that we're working on to try and do some cool stuff.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, so then now we come to, as far as the PR side of things go, just to kind of update everybody where I'm at with things. If you missed this previously, we are now we have 3 guests announced of currently planned 8, and so the remaining 5 guests will continue the trend of 1 per Saturday. So now for the next 5 weeks, we've done two Saturdays in a row, and basically after the episode each week, it's going to be the new guest. And so yeah, and then that will continue, and that's strictly basically just guests of honor, and then we'll continue past that with community guests, musicians, and things like that.
Unless we add that 9th guest.
Unless that happens, yes. Tell all your friends to buy tickets to help make that happen. But
there's also our other guy too.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yes,
you do. I do? Oh, you have to remind me.
Our other guy?
I'm blanking, but that's okay. So at least 8 guests with 5 more to come. And then adding on top of that, musicians and community guests. And so yeah, we might basically be having a that guy. We might basically be having an announcement a week, almost up until con, basically, until things need to go to print. Which is awesome. So yeah, just keeping the hype train rolling, so to speak. And then now that I've finally, almost a year later, gotten the Cider Fest 2015 pictures up, I'm going to start to do some Throwback Thursdays, contests, and things like that. If anybody has any suggestions for fun social media stuff and PR stuff, always throw it my way. In case any of them are watching now or later, shout out to my artists that have been just whipping out stuff, really quality work in the speed that you've been doing it. Some of it just because of communication issues have been coming down to like putting something together at the last minute. So huge thanks to Kaylee, Brittany, Michelle, Kelsey, and Susan, who have I believe all done various pieces so far, or elements of pieces. So thank you to my artists for being awesome. we're sending press releases. TJ/Pirate Dash is helping me out by sending out press releases, making sure those get sent out to EQD, and we're also sending them to Derpy News and Horse News because whatever, and just to do the PR thing there. So thanks to him for that. Website Sydney is helping me get the website stuff as soon as the vendors are the bulk of them is paid. We're going to start to work on getting them listed and all that. For the most part, I think the website is just waiting on that. Is kind of the next big project that we have aside from just adding in the guests every week and all that. We have a dedicated video staff, by the way, this year. I haven't explored the equipment side of this yet, just until we get closer and to see what we have to work with, if anything. Otherwise, we just might be using my and their own equipment. But I've got 3 people who are on staff who's in there. They are a videography department. It kills me that we do not have good video. First of all, of last year, because whatever crappy photographer volunteers we had. But even just on top of that, having the one person walk around with a camera is fine. But there's so much stuff that I didn't get to see last year, and I need everybody that's named does not begin with an N and end with an N to turn your volume down or take off your headphones or something like that, because I'm about to yell and Nolan, wake up! Hi.
Sleeping on the
job. Morning sunshine. Okay, so
just a soothing voice, Charlie.
So yeah, between sorry to anybody that was. I hope you all got your volumes turned down ahead of time you saw that coming. But yeah, I couldn't not do that. But yeah, so between the photographers that we have on staff, who Alicia that was on staff for Windy City, and James Old Coyote Littlefield, who absolutely killed it at MLP MSP. The number and quality photos he took up there, just awesome. I can't wait to get those posted. It's gonna be soon. But yeah, so our media coverage of the con itself this year is I have every hope is going to be just outstanding compared to the the ones we've done before. So yes, that. Corey, do you that camera thingy that you ordered? Do you have any idea when to expect that? I looked at their website and it said like fall, but so anytime, do you think maybe, or?
That's all that they've told us too.
Okay.
So I'm in the same boat.
Okay. Just as a side note, there's the live stream company. They have like this camera that they didn't kickstart it because they were gonna make it no matter what, but they sort of had like a pre-sale on it where they were selling it for like half off, and basically it's a 4K camera that you control with like an iPad, and you can basically set up multiple like viewing points, and so you can kind of do what looks like a multi-camera like live stream, but it's actually just on one camera. But because it's 4K, even when you're just grabbing like pieces from here and there, each piece looks good because the camera, the sensor is so high quality. So hopefully we get that in time for Cider Fest, because that would be interesting and kind of cool to stream some stuff.
That's impressive.
Okay, so finally, Drew, in terms of guest relation stuff, is there anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to go over with the group?
Well, there's a lot of things I can't talk about in the group.
Yeah.
It's not there.
No, we do need to go over the rentals soon, though, Corey.
Say that again. You're kind of.
We need to go over the car rentals soon, and we need to get the flights booked.
Okay, so I have booked flights for. What the fuck can I say?
Jim.
Yeah, I booked
and the +1.
Yes, yeah, I booked Jim's and +1. I booked Allie or Willow's. Damn it. It's gonna take a while. Like
Yeah,
I said.
Ralph's handling the ones from Dallas, right?
Yeah, he's handling the remainders. Sans, the one from LA.
Do we want to put Jay in that same kind of deal?
What's the LA one? You mean? Yeah.
No, I'll just message you later. It's fine.
Okay. Our code is not working.
It's not. It's really not.
No, it's not at all.
And I could say it, but everyone would know who it was.
Yeah.
All right.
So then
Anyway,
we're trying to tease it.
other
Yes.
than that, Tim is now fully aware of everything I'm doing. I'm getting him completely brought up to speed. So if anything were to happen to me, which is these days entirely possible, he could completely take over. I'm working on handler assignments, working on allergies-related information, and other than that, I'm getting our guest that's being announced this weekend's extra information from his agent still. And I think that's it.
Cool.
Right, special events is handling autographs, right?
Correct.
Do they need anything from me?
No. I don't think so. I think just once it's scheduled, and then after that I'll basically kind of I'm basically just going to kind of use the system I came up with for I should say Scott and I came up with for Everfree, because that worked out really well. We're just going to kind of use that, and in terms of policies and procedures and all that. I just need
that spreadsheet.
What's that?
That spreadsheet you have.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it's going to be even smarter this time. I'll just need to know splits so I can just get everything programmed.
What I'm gonna I'll organize that for you, and then as well as at Con I'll have binders.
Cool.
I thought it was something I remembered though, but I forgot now. Just terrible.
Okay.
Story of your life.
Blame it on brain surgery.
I can do that.
That doesn't change though.
It's not very nice.
Okay, so then that covers the rest of the programming department separately.
Oh, speaking of programming, I have to coordinate with Dave about guest programming. That's what it was.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we
Yeah,
can
so
get together
we
and
should chat.
I missed out on the panel submissions close. When do they close again?
End of this month.
Yeah, the end of the month, and then the beginning of September. For the 2 weeks there, at the beginning of September, we're going to assemble the entirety of the schedule. And I've quickly browsed through panel submissions, and we've got 46 so far, and another 10, 15 on the way. So, yeah, we'll have plenty of selection to fill 3 rooms, I'm sure.
Yeah, plus various community guest ones that that aren't in there yet or won't be in there. So.
Oh yeah, I need to yell at select community guests to actually submit the panels.
Yeah, me too. Because website and Conbook is helpful to have that information.
Yeah,
so,
stuff like headshots and things too, and those are always nice to have.
Yes. Cool. Then, other than that, Dave, programming department as a whole, is there anything that you want to talk about or anything that you need from your various department heads that hasn't been discussed?
Not yet. I'm just kind of in the initial stages of just kind of got the general schedule sheet cleared off, and we're just kind of using the schedule that we had last year, which already has things accounted for, like the slot for the gala and things like that. We're just doing the one concert because, obviously the gala is going to take up Friday night. Other than that, just once panel submissions close, then it'll be, those 2 weeks will be the time where programming is going to shine. That's what I look forward to.
I had mentioned this before. Tell me if you guys agree with this or if you had any comments. But it seemed to work out really well at Winnie City that after the gala that we had karaoke in the same space, because it's basically already set up for that.
That's what I was planning
on,
actually.
Anyways. Lots and lots and lots of positive comments about how we did karaoke at Winnie. So if we can, I don't know, I think there's at least one, maybe even a couple panel applications for people who are interested in running it. But
I've had two people outside of those applications ask me if anyone was doing karaoke this year because they wanted to run it, and I have no idea why everyone wants to run karaoke now, but I won't say no.
Cool. Yeah, just whoever you pick, make sure they're all obviously going to have pony music, but just make sure they have non-pony music as well. Because like we had at MSP, we had some of the guests of honor crash karaoke, and they don't know pony songs, and so we had to like YouTube karaoke versions of stuff and just cross our fingers that the band would hold out. So,
Yep.
yeah,
I remember that. That was fun.
that was a thing.
We had
Worked
to
out.
look up Journey, of course.
Yeah.
And they all went up there, and they're all like, "Oh."
Don't remind me of
yes,
Journey. Because there's BabsCon things that happened with Journey.
We don't
You
talk
just
about
a
that
small
con.
town girl.
Stop it. Stop now. Stop.
Were you living in a lonely world over there, Drew?
Dave, stop. Stop.
Let's just say
Stop.
that Jen gave a lap dance to someone.
What else is new? She does that at every event. Come on.
She gave it to Princess Celestia.
Well, it's Jen. I mean, come on. What do you expect?
Where was I when that was happening? Damn.
A quick side note, just in case anybody is curious, we will not, I repeat, we will not be having a TubCon panel.
There's no such thing as a TubCon. What are you talking about?
That panel does not exist. We don't talk
No,
about that panel.
no.
You know, it was a great idea that just.
It was a terrible idea.
It looked good on paper. I think execution things went
Half of
very
TubCon,
badly.
half of TubCon had fun. That's it.
Let's be honest. Like 90% of TubCon was just unbridled fun, and then it quickly descended.
Yeah.
Mind you, I bought the best damn styrofoam tubs I could find. I'm surprised. I found those in some rural-ass...
They didn't last long.
Some rural-ass company in Nebraska that sold these things for like $40 a pop. That was my feat of the year.
Wow.
Didn't they sell them for a couple $100s at the charity auction? I can't remember.
I
don't remember either.
I walked away with a piece.
You got yourself a piece of that?
I basically have a styrofoam TubCon tombstone. So, yeah.
Here lies Charlie Worthley, signed by Jim.
No, hang on. I gotta go get it now. Hang on.
Oh, God. Corey, one thing I wanted to mention with Cider Lounge, I know I brought it up in the previous meeting or something that we were thinking about getting cider heated this year. What are you working on to get that taken care of?
Heated cider?
Yes.
Since it'd be cold.
I will work on that now.
Okay.
And see what we can do. Heating elements are hard in those kind of rooms because we used stenos before, or those little sterno, like tiny little things that you use to cook like banquet food.
Yeah,
Ooh, that shit on hardcore by the hotel one year.
Oh yeah, no, they don't like open flame. We were thinking like induction heaters or something you could pick up at a hardware store. I mean,
I've got that. You know, I have hot pots I can put in. I've got microwaves I can bring. We'll figure it out.
All right, awesome.
So I present to you the literal RIP TubCon tombstone.
Get that out of here!
I'm so happy that
Charlie, you're bringing back flashbacks.
Drew's already in the corner. He's gonna hug his knees and start rocking back and forth, crying.
Oh, no. Yes, wrong.
Anywho,
so we should do this again. Everyone has so much fun. Think of all the gallivanting we just talked about.
Yeah.
all this awesome stuff. There are some things we need to talk to you guys about off the air that I might guess we take care of, so I will need to deal with that when we're done with the call. But, yeah.
So I think we've covered every department. Unless anyone has any questions that hasn't been brought up, I'm looking over the Q&A here. Just a couple comments from Tradley, but it looks like all the questions have been addressed. So yeah, does anybody have anything else that they want to mention or talk about or ask or anything?
We should totally set up a Ponyville Cider Fest Pokestop.
We'd have to submit it
now.
now.
Okay. Sure.
You know, I'm considering that they might get to the point of like.
Well, they have submissions.
They do.
They aren't taking them right now.
They're open, but they're not accepting them currently as active.
Unless you live in rural areas.
Though, has anyone been? Have you been to the Hyatt recently? Is there a Pokestop nearby? Or is there a gym at the Hyatt?
I have
There's probably a gym at the Hyatt, I'd imagine.
We should find out.
There are
I live in the land of like level 1 and level 2 gyms, so.
It must be nice.
Just add up and call it a pony stop.
No.
I would love to get the area flooded with ponytas personally. That's kind of my.
It's not a Pokestop, it's a Pokestable. Oh.
You're gonna poke whose stable? What? Sorry, how could you?
You.
I think
I
we've
know that
devolved.
works.
I think we have in fact devolved to the conversation.
Yeah, it's happened.
I like Scott's suggestion in the Q&A. Can we have TubCon 2.0 where we just shake our heads disapprovingly at Drew for an hour? Comment of the night.
Technically, that'd be 3.0. That would be 3.0. Okay.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, the answer is yes. We can absolutely do that. Next came up ahead.
Oh god.
All right. If no one has anything else, I'm currently pulling up the Ingress map to see if there's a.
I thought it was dead.
Ingress isn't dead. It still has events.
Yes, based on Ingress, there should be a bunch of stops up there, if not a couple of gyms right by the hotel.
Awesome. Thank you.
Sweet.
Shut up, Scott.
I don't get it. I'm not playing it yet, so I think you people are all crazy. Whatever.
Okay, so if no one has anything else, we'll go ahead and we'll call it a night. The division heads, please keep on your department managers. If anybody is not clear about what you are currently supposed to be working on, please let us know. So as side notes, please make sure that your staff has registered as of when I checked earlier today.
I've got 4 missing right now.
Yeah, when I checked earlier, we had 68 registered and 24 not. Notable exceptions: Corey has not registered for his staff badge.
Corey, you can't come to the con.
You do it right now. As soon as you're done with the call, get it done, please.
Mike Smith and Ashley Wagner are not registered for their staff badges. Let's see.
Has Lucy registered?
What's that?
Did Lucy register?
No, of course not.
What was your lead?
I can't. I can't.
I can't get on Slack on any of the cons she works for, so it's.
Corey, you just need to do what I did with Michelle for the first con. I just ninja'd Slack onto her phone and signed her in, and just said, "By the way, your Slack's on your phone now." He was like, "Okay."
I can do this because Lucy usually sleeps in later than me.
Let's see.
When that fight comes together.
If she finds this on her phone, it's your fault now, Charlie. You told me to do this.
Witness.
Fine. I will take full credit with that. I don't have to live with it. Let's see, Mr. Tom Kopp. I'm just looking at department heads and assistants. Tom Kopp has not registered. Azumi. Blue Nose Ranger has not registered. Lucy, of course. And those are all the department heads and assistant department heads, and then there's a handful of staff. Not a single person from the vendor hall has registered. Just throwing.
Whoa.
Hello.
Con-store staff has registered, but not vendor hall. But yeah, so congratulations to Operations, Royal Guard, registration for having all being fully registered. Registration is missing 1.
Oh, dang it, Tim hasn't registered.
That is.
At least not on the staff list, doesn't say.
Oh, yep, no, that's correct. Congrats to Kids Programming, Video Gaming, Tabletop, and in my PR, the only person who hasn't registered is somebody who's not even sure they're going to be able to come. They're just doing art because they're awesome. So I'm calling myself fully registered.
That's a lie.
Everybody who's committed to con has registered. So yeah, there you go.
In terms of chairs, though.
Wait, I'm not committed? Oh God.
Anywho, does anyone have? And so in terms of staff housing, people who are on the call, is anybody not clear on how that spreadsheet works? I know it looks funky when you first look at it, but like the people at Winnie were able to figure it out, so I'm hoping that we're all able to figure it out too. And I see it's pretty fully filled out, so it looks like you guys all got it for the most part, at least.
Charlie?
What's that?
Is that in our Google Drive?
Should be.
It's pinned in staff housing on Slack.
Thank you. That's all I
So
needed.
nobody's asking questions, so I'm assuming everybody who is at least listening to me right now understands it. That's good. Corey, what's your deadline for having that completed by? Having everybody's roommates and everything figured out.
I need that by no later than October 1st. That's when I think that's when our room block closes. Actually, let me double check that real quick.
Well, okay. So at the I'm just going to say if we can have our staff housing figured out by September 1st, I'll set that as the deadline. That gives us some wiggle room in case we get changes in staff and everything. But I mean, like it seems like it's pretty well taken care of, and so just finishing up in the next month, I think, is a realistic goal. So department heads, please keep.
My reservation closed on the 24th of October. Okay, so people can register all the way through. But yeah, let's do it by October 1st.
We can change that, of course, if you want to. But
my hotel likes me. Yeah.
Well, you bring them a lot of business.
Your hotel was nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, most just FYI, I know it's a general derail. Most hotels don't let attendees reserve hotel rooms like 2 or 3 weeks before. It's only like they stop it a month before. Ours go all the way to the week of. Hooray!
Well, I like you, and that's the important part.
You can stop gloating now.
No, he's always going to gloat because of what he does.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. I think that's probably everything else.
Will, wake up.
I wasn't even sleeping. Excuse you.
The server sleep?
No. Yeah, I drank like 4 of these today. Please save me.
I know.
I can get yelled at. You should get yelled at. I was nice about it.
I didn't even fall asleep though, so you're wrong.
We just need to start chanting, Will, not the Conox guy.
By the way, I love this picture in the staff housing Slack channel here, Matt, that's got these full-ass bottles of Malort. Ugh.
Oh, God.
So disgusting.
That's the staff initiation route.
We don't sleep. We just drink and con the whole weekend. We don't actually sleep at all. That's wrong.
Nolan, have you ever tried Malort?
I don't drink like ever, but I'll
You're
I'll
going
get it.
to. Are we getting Nolan?
Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness.
How many do we need?
How many extra bottles should I bring?
0.
No, Drew's got to try it too. Drew has not tried it, I bet.
I've had Malort, and it's disgusting.
We can get our talent to try it. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, there you go. It's like all the shame of the state of Illinois in a bottle.
That's a lot of shit.
It's like
That's a lot.
drinking an ashtray, as Mitch described it.
That's pretty accurate.
better have a chaser for that. I'll tell you that right now. That sounds gross.
I unfortunately had an ashtray by mistake. It was in a pop can, and it was like a Mountain Dew can. I'm like, oh, let me drink some pop real quick. Ashtray.
Well, shit.
My mom wasn't very good at hiding her ashtrays when I was younger.
Alrighty then, Charlie. We covered every base tonight.
I think so. I think we can let everybody go here. Guys, thank you for your time. Appreciate it. Once again, if you are not sure what you're supposed to be working on, or if you have any questions, please talk to your superiors. Let's just last time I ended the call, I think, with just asking everybody to just kind of recommit to making sure that things do not end up being last minute this time around. We've got enough time, we've got enough people, we have enough talent working behind this combat that
I'll try.
We should have zero problems with making sure that things are done fully in advance. And I hear laughter, and I'm going to punch each and every one of you that's laughing right now.
Make Cider Press great again.
Shut up. It was always great.
You're fired.
Okay.
Wait, where can I
find?
Everyone's fired. Time to go home.
Dropping the band.
Everyone's fired except for Charlie. He's going to do everything. He's gonna run all the departments.
That's not funny.
Such a sprint from room to room.
Charlie, have you had a nightmare about this before?
This is your nightmare.
Nightly.
Somebody wake me up. No.
I can't wake up inside.
You'll wake up at Ciderfest.
You'll wake up in a Wayne City meeting. It's okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, shut up, Scott. Wow.
Will Drew be banned from
Beautiful.
Ciderfest if he
Too
has to drink
soon.
with a VIP guest?
Too soon. BronyCon was less than a month ago.
Yeah, like, seriously.
Scott, the answer is yes. So,
I don't know the question. I'm not sure I want to know the question.
all right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time and your efforts. It's greatly appreciated. If you have any questions, please let whoever is above you know. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the stop
always
button.
let Charlie know. All questions go to Charlie.
Sure, fine.
Yeah,
why
don't
not?
use any of the directors or anything. Just go right to him.
It's so nice. I like being where I'm at.
You went October. Charlie, end the thing. With dignity.
What?
What?
Dignity.
I think Nolan drank a whole bottle of Malort before he got it.
That would explain him falling asleep.
Explain why he's so salty.
I look forward to seeing you all in less than 90 days. I'm hitting the.
Oh God.
Wait, less than
Watching,
is it really less than 90 days?
Yes.
Wow.
Anybody who's watching, thanks very much for watching, and good night.
We're sorry.